Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mario Cuello from Epygi. We're going to have another session today, half-hour session or so, on our series of webinars, sales related. They're also combined with some technical webinars that Andy White has been doing, also scheduling in our portal. So this is the third one we do on the sales side. We have another one for January 4th. On mobility, and then we'll be adding some more for between January and February, a mix of sales and technical. The intention is just to give you a brief update on some of the functionalities and positioning of Epygi products and help you be able to position accordingly with your customers. So today we're going to talk about eQall, the Softphone briefly, and then as the new SMS capability that we add into it. And then we'll do a Q&A at the end. And of course, any questions you may have, just chat, interrupt me or send me a chat and I'll be happy to answer it to you. All right. So let's get started. Well, eQall, and many of you already know what eQall is, but for those who don't, just we're going to have a brief intro here. It is a software that we developed about 2-3 years ago, and really what it does is provides mobility and flexibility to the user. I mean, you can have it as a replacement to your desk phone, or you can use it as a complement to your desk phone. So in the cloud-based installations that we offer, we have, of course, appliances and cloud. It is ideal. Pretty much with eQall installed, you don't have to put any desk phone, worry about local type network issues, and it makes it a lot easier for cloud installations. And you download it from Epygi for the Windows version, or from the Apple or iOS store for the mobile devices. So it's available on the 3 platforms. You don't pay anything for the download. You just, depending on what you're using, you have to get a license.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I was saying that you can download eQall from the Apple Store and or the Android, and then it works with our QX PBX appliance and also our cloud, and then it's included on the cloud appliance. But if you're going to have it for the on-premise devices, one free eQall is included on the box, and then you get a license to activate. Okay. All right. So some of the features of eQall, it's you can have multiple extensions, up to 8. So that gives you flexibility. You can register your eQall with different PBXs if you want to do that, or under different extensions, and you can have many line appearances per account. So you have a lot of flexibility in that sense there. You can do whole 3-way call transfer, caller ID, call history. So all the basic functionality you use on a phone, you can do with eQall. Many codecs, including Opus, which we added recently. And there's a do not disturb and a call forwarding type toggle. So if you want to, set do not disturb, or you want to do a call forwarding, you can do that on the eQall window. Multiple contact lists. You can have your own favorites. If you're using Outlook, it would, on the Windows version, you can get the Outlook contacts, see them on eQall, or your mobile contacts out of your mobile phone, and of course the PBX extensions where the eQall is registered. So it registers automatically with a PBX appliance, and EC Cloud is very easy to do. I have a little bit more on a slide later on. You can do video calls, not only between eQall participants, but video calls with SIP phones that have video capability. And you can have a call history and voicemail retrieval on the application. So other things about eQall, if you get if you're using eQall and an incoming GSM call comes in, it doesn't close the app. I mean, it will ask you if you want to switch that, but it doesn't close the app automatically. Some other soft phones were doing that early on, but ours obviously doesn't do that. You can also do instant messaging between eQall users and have several sessions on that. So that was the initial chat capability we had on eQall. Obviously, we're going to talk today about SMS that we have added. And you can do secure communications. We want to use TLS secure RTP, you can set up sessions between eQall and the PBX using TLS. There's an option to auto answer. If you don't want to click to auto answer, you can do that. And if you want to have a separate ringer device, for example, I'm using a headset now. With eQall, and if I walk away from my laptop and a call comes in and I don't have my headset and I want to have a separate ringer device, for example, my laptop speaker to be ring if an incoming calls in, or I can come running to my desk, and put on my headset and then answer the call with eQall. So you can have a separate ringer device. You have presence, and if you want to have some sort of white label capability, you can change the banner, the red banner, and the logo, and add your own logo and change the color of the banner if you want to do that. Okay, there's 20 programmable keys or BLF keys. That's one nice feature of the eQall. You see here on the right pane an illustration of that. You can have several different options, but some are listed in here, where you can have a general voicemail button that you can click on to listen to general voicemail left on for the office. Block calls by pushing the button. Once you hang up a call, you want to block it from coming in again, you can do that. You can have several speed dials. You can have park extensions. You can watch extensions. In this case, when you're watching the extension, if it comes in and it lights up, if that extension is ringing or in use, and you know if someone is on that phone, for example, you can trigger conference room activity or activate conference rooms, which is essentially like a speed dial to a conference room extension. Do callback or do date-night toggle if you want to switch between date and night activity. For example, getting receptionist that calls during the day and then at nighttime going to an IVR. And also you can get line info, which is more information about how your extension is connected. So BLF keys are very popular and they're very useful. It gives you a little bit of an extension to what you may be used to on your desk phone. All right. So as far as auto provisioning, pretty much this is done with a QR code. So you select eQall from the phone list that we have on the QX, and then that's it. You get a QR code there that you can either copy for the Windows, load up on the Windows version, or use your phone, take a picture of it, or download that code, send it to somebody, and they can display it on the screen and get their mobile phone, take a picture of that, and it would configure. So it actually, what we call an Epygi enhanced provisioning, it essentially facilitates the registration. So it actually goes to our servers and works out the IP address options that you have for connecting, and it could be public address, it could be a VPN, or it could be a private address. But the idea is that we have mechanisms in there to make it easier to provision eQall by using cloud services that we have. Okay. We also have a receptionist console as an option. This actually replaces a product that used to be called a DCC desktop console and Windows space, so for receptionists. So we essentially expanded eQall so that you can have a separate pane if you want to use it for receptionist. And you can see a picture here, more or less what it'll look like. So you can pick up extensions that you want to watch, and you can group them in groups here. There's a sales, support, and marketing group, different colors. And then so you can see where those extensions, what group they belong. You can click to dial to those extensions. You can watch them and intercept calls coming in, or you can leave voicemail box in the watch extensions. Maybe you talk to somebody as a receptionist and then you just want to leave a voicemail to the person on that extension. You can do that from the receptionist side, for example. You can do blind transfers and consultative transfers. So essentially, whatever a receptionist needs to do her job, you can do with the console. And of course, since eQall is a soft phone, then all she needs is a Windows PC at her station and a headset, and then she can do her job. She doesn't need to have a desk phone to do, or BLF keys on the desk phone to do that. All right. So as far as SMS, which is pretty much the bulk of what we want to talk about today. So we have recently developed a capability to use, be able to terminate SMS messages on eQall, okay, pretty much with any phone. So you do it through the eQall application. You don't do a separate Windows SMS application out of the PBX. It's all done through eQall. So it makes it really practical, because if you're on your mobile device, you just use your eQall application to send and receive text that you normally would do with a native text application or with WhatsApp and whatnot. So the advantage of this is that if you're in business and you want to send text messages, you don't need to use your private phone number to send text to a customer. You can just use the capability of SMS through the PBX and keep your private number separate. And there's also other benefits to the employer. When, for example, a sales team is doing that, you get a chance to track all those conversations, which is very important for them too. So at the end of the day, we feel it's a truly mobile experience for the user, being able to have both means of communications through the eQall app. So, of course, you need a carrier subscription. We don't do termination. We're just providing the technology to do, but you need a carrier. And we're going to talk a little bit about options that you have there in the next slides. One important thing is that you do not need to use the same DID for SMS that you do for voice. It can be completely independent. It gives you a lot of flexibility. They can be the same if you want, but they don't have to. Okay. So how do we do SMS and eQall? Well, here they're showing three options in here. The first one is you have an eQall extension and you assign an SMS DID number to that extension, okay? And that way you can send and receive SMS messages to the DID number assigned to that extension. Now, you could also use that DID for voice and assign it to that extension, but you don't have to. I mean, you can use a number for SMS and you can still receive calls coming in from the main number assigned to the office, to the main number of the PBX. Another option will be that you have SMS numbers assigned to the PBX. And in this particular case, you can use that SMS assigned number to send SMSs out from any extension. So if you're on eQall extension 25, you send an SMS out, it will come out from the DID that is assigned to the PBX. And you can have more than one DID assigned to the PBX. Now, on the receiving end, it's a little bit different. You have to receive that email to one location. So in this particular case, you can have one extension that receives a reply for the text, okay? But you're able to send out from many others. Not very, very practical, but you could do that too. Now, the other option is to receive it to an SMS group, okay, which is, I think, probably the most important feature that we have on this. Now, you see on the right screen there a picture when you're sending out an SMS and you're either picking either your DID number, which is the outbound on top icon there, or you have different groups. In this case, there's support. Another one is called orders. Another one is called in case of failure. I don't know what they did that, but anyway. So those are actually groups. So the way that the third option here is that you, on the PBX, assign a DID number to a group. You label a group, let's say sales, and you may have more than one. Maybe you have one that is also marketing, for example. And then they have SMS DIDs assigned to them. So any incoming text to that SMS is going to start a group conversation to selected extensions that you have included in that group, okay? And so it opens a conversation. Let's say you got a customer, sends a text to the sales SMS number and say, hey, I need pricing on X product. It opens up a conversation among the sales staff. Anyone can reply, and everybody will see the reply of everyone like any other conversation. And that way you can take care of that customer, and you don't have to do it with individual SMS. So very flexible in how you can do this. Okay. So how do you do that? Well, you define the groups, and the bottom picture there is you first define the groups that you want to have on the PBX, and then assign the number, the DID number you want for that group for SMS, and then you edit that group and then assign the extensions that belong to that group. So, and one extension can belong to more than one group. So it doesn't have to be just one. You can do as many as you wish. So very, very flexible in that sense. So here's a little illustration of what I just said here, a little bit more, a little different way. So in the top case, this is, each extension has a dedicated DID. So I show 3 extensions, 20, 21, 22. Each one has a dedicated DID for SMS, and the sender is sending the SMSs to those dedicated numbers. You get them on eQall, you reply to them. It's a one-on-one type conversation. The bottom example is the example where you have a single DID, or more than one if you want. And then when you receive an SMS from a customer, then you send it to designated extensions. Okay, let's say extension 20 in this case is receiving all of the SMSs, but then the other extensions, 21 and 22, are allowed to send out SMSs, okay, using that DID. So many people in the office can send SMS out, but when they're coming back in, they only go to one extension. Now, in this other example, it is the pretty much the group example. So here we have created a sales group, with a DID 1, 2, 3, and then any SMS coming in is going to be copied to all of those extensions that are on the group. It opens up a group conversation, and then anybody can reply. Everybody can see the text that is being replied to, and be part of the conversation. So this is more, I think, a better option, obviously, because it allows several people to take care of that customer. Now, if you don't want to participate in that chat, you can exit that conversation, or you can mute that conversation to avoid distraction, and then re-enable it later on. Okay. So if you have a parent-child, which is a popular way of using Epygi extensions, and especially eQall, and in other presentations I said, you can, parent-child is very useful when you have a desk phone, and then you have, let's say, eQall on Windows and eQall on your iPhone, and as a child extension, they're one and the same. So any incoming call to the parent desk rings all 3. Any outbound call from any of them comes out as if you're from your desk extension. So very popular for working from home, or being at Starbucks or whatever, or when you're sitting on your desk, obviously you're using your desk phone. So in the case of this SMS functionality for parent-child, then same thing. The SMS comes into the parent, is seen by the children, and whomever replies on behalf of the parent. Okay, and obviously we're talking about eQall because we don't have SMS on a desk phone. So the idea is that you have a parent eQall and eQall children. Okay, in this particular case. All right. Now, another feature that we have included is an SMS signature, and then you actually do this on the eQall app. That way you don't have to go to the QX PBX to make that. So you go to the eQall app, and the left pane shows you there where you enter. There's a block there where you enter a signature. You can say, thank you, Mario, my cell number is 12345, okay? Or you may even put a URL there, okay, that will be seen as a hyperlink. But the intention of this, and you can activate this signature. So the intention of this is that if you want to identify yourself, let's say that you were using the SMS DID assigned to the company, and you reply or you send an SMS to a customer, and he doesn't know what that SMS is. It's not your voice number. You can identify yourself and say, hey, Mario, this is my voice phone number, and at least if they need to call you back and do a voice call, they know what phone number to call you back. So that's just one example. The intention is to be able to have a signature that will be attached to any text that you're sending out, okay? And you can change that signature if you want. So it gives you a little bit a better probability of identifying yourself on your text when you're replying to them. And it will be tagged to every text that you send down until you either disable it or mute it. All right. So the other item that we have is SMS history, and this is on the PBX. So again, this is it actually shows you on a separate call detail record or SMS detail record all of the text going out. And the picture that you see in the bottom here, it tells you it's coming from an SMS number that is a group. Okay, so it's from extension 140, which belongs to the support group on that DID, SMS DID, and then to remote phone. So you get the source and the destination. It tells you if it's outbound or inbound texting, and it also has the message. That's what you see on the right column. So you get an SMS detail records on the QX that administration can either look online or they can download as a CSV for archiving. So I think the important thing to notice in here is that a sales team is texting with customers back and forth. There's a record of it for the administration, on those texts. He's not texting on his private SMS with their cell phone, and which you don't have any record of that. So it's just to be able to have more accountability on all the conversations that you have with texting, just pretty much the same way you have it with voice calls. All right. Now, some other options in here. I already mentioned that you can use the same DID for voice or SMS on an eQall extension or not. And again, important to note is that you can add SMS to a customer without affecting their voice DIDs. They're just going to get some SMS DIDs from one of these carriers. And today we're working with Twilio, Telnix, and Clearfly. Now, the reason is that every carrier has a different API for this, and these are the ones we have configured so far. And our intention is to add more connectivity to other providers, but today we work with those in there, and we're talking to some others to add them into the list also. So the way we're going to do this is that, of course, you get your plan with your SMS termination provider, the per text plan that you have, and then we do activate licenses in our product for the texting, and usually we're going to offer this with a block of messages initially, depending on the particularly for the cloud PBX. Depending what package you buy on the cloud PBX, you're going to get a block of messages that you can use. Once you use that block, then you can buy some extra ones for $15 or $20. We haven't finalized that, but we'll do that in the next couple of days. So, but if you want to try this, you're going to get a block of messages that you can use with eQall activated, the SMS on the extensions that you have. All you got to do is get an SMS DID from one of these providers, and then give it a shot. So I don't think I have anything else on this slide here I want to mention. Parent extension. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Short and sweet, half an hour, which I promise I will not take more than that. If you want to try eQall for free, contact me. If you want to try SMS, we'll send you the information, assist you on this. If you want to try SMS, you have to get the account from the carrier and then provide us some tokens that we need in order to activate. We'll take care of that part in our end. But we'll look forward for you to give it a shot and try it. We'll be happy to assist you and get your feedback. I mean, we feel there's a lot of other options on these SMS. For example, we have a call center product that is voice today. We feel that SMS can blend in very well for that, but we wanted to introduce it first, as I mentioned here, and then roll it into the call center a little bit later. So having said that, that's it for today. Any questions from anyone at this time? Okay, so please contact me. I'm going to send you the slides, or have Ash can do that. And any other question, let me know. I have one here from Dan. Battery usage. Most of these mobile applications now, they have to abide by the being dormant type on the phone. You know, so they're waking up on notification for incoming call. So they don't waste the battery. They don't. I think iPhone and Android don't allow you to keep the app open in the back and just drain the battery anymore. Okay, I hope that answers your question. All right, and okay, so thank you all for participating today. Again, any questions, get back to me, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. And you have a great afternoon.